Hi friends, today I am going to show you how to solve an LPP or linear programming problem with the help of graphical method. This sum that I have taken up for explaining is of a maximization function sum, which says find the maximum value of z equals to 5x1 plus 7x2 subject to the constraints x1 plus x2 lesser or equals to 4, 3x1 plus 8x2 lesser or equals to 24, 10x1 plus 7x2 lesser or equals to 35 and x1 and x2 greater or equals to 0. As a first step, what we have to do is, first we will replace the inequalities of the constraints and we will form equations. So, we will ignore the lesser than signs in this sum and we will consider only the equals to sign for solving it. So, we will write like this: we will replace all the inequalities of the constraints by forming equations. So, the first equation will be x1 plus x2 equals to 4 and not greater or equals to. So, we will just write equals to 4. In the next step, what we do is we will try to find out two different points joining which we can draw a straight line in a graph. So, in order to do that, what we do is we first take x1 equals to 0, then find out the value of x2 and then again we take x2 as 0 and find out the value of x1. So, here what will happen is, if we take x1 equals to 0, this part will not be there, then that means x2 will be equals to 4. So, if x1 is 0, x2 will be 4. Similarly, if x2 is 0, then this part will not be there, that means it will be x1 equals to 4. So, x1 equals to 4. This way we will do for rest of the two equations. Then after finding out this point, we have to write a line also which says, does it means this equation or straight line, does the straight line passes through 0, 4 and 4, 0. 0, 4 comes from this one, 0 for x1 and 4 for x2, and 4, 0 comes from this one. For x1 it is 4 and for x2 it is 0. So, 0, 4 and 4, 0. Then the next equation was 3x1 plus 8x2 equals to 24. If we take x1 as 0, then x2 will be 3, because this part will not be there, then x2 equals to 24. That means if we solve for x2, it will be 24 divided by 8, that is 3. So, it comes at x2 equals to 3. Similarly, again we will take x2 equals to 0 and find x1's value. What will it be if we don't consider this one and take x2 equals to 0? It will be 3x1 equals to 24. That means x1 will be 24 divided by 3, that is 8. So, if x2 is 0, x1 will be 8. Thus, it passes through the points 0, 3, 0 for x1, 3 for x2 and 8, 0. 8 for x1 and 0 for x2. So, 8, 0. Now, we will do the same techniques for the third constraint, which is 10x1 plus 7x2 equals to 35. If x1 equals to 0, then x2 will be 35 by 7, that is 5. So, if x1 is 0, x2 will be 5. Similarly, if x2 is 0, then x1 will be 10x1 will be 35, that means x1 will be 35 divided by 10, that is 3.5. So, if x2 is 0, x1 will be 3.5. Thus, it will pass through 0, 5 and 3.5, 0. I hope it is clear. Then we move on to draw the graph now. For drawing the graph, we will first take two axes, which is this side in the horizontal axis it is x1 and in the vertical axis it is x2. So, we will just take the points that we have derived and go on plotting the straight line. So for the first one it was 0, 4 and 4, 0. That means here 0, 4 means 0 for x1, 0 and x2 is 4. So it will be somewhere here. We have taken equal intervals of one unit only. So we have taken from starting from 1 till 8, because our highest point we can see here is 8. So we can take 8 on both the sides. Now for the first one it was 0, 4 and 4, 0. So 0 and 4 we will take, that means this particular point, and 4, 0 means 4 on the x1 axis and 0 on the x2 axis. That is why it will be here. So this point and this point has to be joined, and we will draw a straight line passing through the axis. Similarly, for the second points that we have derived, second set of points, it was 0, 3 and 8, 0. So 0, 3, first one will be 0 for x1 and 3, that means this point. And next one was 8, 0, that is 8 on the x axis. So it will be 8 and 0 on the x2 axis. Then what we will do, we will join these 2 points and draw another straight line passing through the axis. So it will be this one, this straight line. I have named it as 2 for avoiding any mistake in the future. So first one I have named as 1 and second one I have named as 2. Let's draw the third one. What is there in third one? In third one the points are 0, 5 and 3.50. First we will trace 0, 5. So 0, 5 means 0 for x1 and 5 for x2. So that means this point. So 0 and 5 stands at this one. And then there is 3.5 and 0. 3.5 for x1 axis, that means it will be somewhere here between 3 and 4. So 3.5 and 0 on the x2 axis. So it will be here. Then we will join these 2 points with the help of a straight line. With the help of a ruler, we will draw the straight line by joining these 2 points. So this becomes the third straight line that we have drawn. Now the rule is, next step is very important. Here what we have to do is, we will have to consider the area in the graph that has been created by all the 3 straight lines, and that we will have to select on the basis of certain criteria. The criteria is, if the constraint function is lesser than equals to sign, then the straight line, the area below the straight line that has been formed by plotting the points that we have derived by taking once x1 equals to 0 and x2 equals to 0, that area has to be selected. That means what? In short, if I say you in easy words, if the constraint function has lesser equals to sign, then the area lying below the straight line will have to be considered. Now you can see in our question that all the 3 constraints are having lesser or equals to sign. So that means what? We will have to consider the area which has been created by the 3 straight lines, which is below the 3 straight lines. Okay, so that means if this is the straight line, the area below it will be this part, the entire part, right? Then if this is the straight line, the area will be this particular region, the entire one. Similarly, if this one is a straight line, this entire area will have to be considered, but we will not shade the entire region. Okay, we will shade only the region that is common to all the 3 straight lines. So had it been greater than equals to sign, then we would have considered the area beyond this, or the area above these straight lines. Okay. Sometimes there are mixed constraints also. At that time we will follow this criteria and we will then select the areas. For the I am repeating once again, for the greater than sign constraints we will consider the area above the straight line, and for lesser than sign in the constraints we will consider the area below the straight lines. Like this, and then we will shade the area which is common to all the straight lines. So here this is the common area defined by O, A, B, C and D. O, A, B, C, D. So now what we have to do is, first we will have to measure the intersecting points, and then we will measure all the other points. So how we write? We write like this: the feasible region is OABCD. This is the area which we have shaded by taking the common area created by all the three straight lines. Now B and C are the points of intersection of lines. Now you can see that in this area, this point B and C are intersecting points of two different lines. This particular point is intersecting the line 3 and line 1, and C is intersecting the line 2 and line 1. So what we write is, we write like this: B and C are the points of intersection of lines. B intersects x1 plus x2 equals to 4, that is the first line, and 10x1 plus 7x2, 10x1 plus 7x2, that is the third line. This point is intersecting third one and the first one. Then what we write? And C intersects 3x1 plus x2 equals to 24, that means the second straight line, and x1 plus x2 equals to 4, that is the first straight line. So this is how we write, and then we will find out the points of point measurement for the point B. So let us see what B, where is B standing. Here we will have to, if we use graph paper, then we get exact values. It is always better to use graph paper. So let's see and find out what is the point for B, point measurement for B. B is standing over here, that means it is somewhere around, it is just reaching, about to reach 3, it is more than 2.5, right. So what we will write is, we will write 2.5 for our, for being on the safer zone, but you could have taken 2.6 or 2.7 also. The answer would not have varied much. But it is, I am telling once again, it is always better to draw the graph in a graph paper. So 2.5 we have taken. So B, you can see B is somewhere, yeah, it is almost 2.5, right. So see, approximation we are making. Had it been graph paper, exact values you could have taken. Anyway, so it is around 2.5 or 2.6 you can take, and on the x2 axis it is just between 1 and 2. So we will take 1.6, you can take 1.5 also. So 2.5 and 1.6 is the measurement of B that we have taken. Similarly, we will again do for C. I am not taking you back to the graph. If you draw the graph and do it, you will get this results. It can be little variation also. You might get 1.5 or 1.7, and here you might get 2.4 or 2.7, but that will not affect the ultimate result. Now see, what we will do is, we will calculate the point measurement for all these 3 points. So we will write the heading corner points, and here we write the heading value of z equals to 5x1 plus 7x2. You remember, this was our maximization function in the question. So now for point O, it is no doubt 0, 0, it is the origin. So 0, 0 means x1 0 and x2 is also 0. So we will replace x1 and x2 with 0 and 0 and find out the value of z. It is coming as 0 because all are 0. Next is A. A's point measurement will be 3.5 and 0. Then first you need to draw the graph, okay. Then you look into this part of the solution. That will be easier for you to understand. So what I am doing is, for A it is 3.5 and B is 0. For x1 it is 3.5 and x2 is 0. So we will replace x1 and x2 with 3.5 and 0 and find out the value of it, of z. So it is coming as 17.5. Similarly, we will do for rest of the points also. After doing all the calculation, we can see that the maximum, since it is a maximization function, so we will take the maximum value. Had it been minimization problem, then we would have taken the minimum value, which is 0. Okay, so here it is a maximization function. Then finally we write our answer as, the maximum value of z occurs at C, that is this point which corresponded to the maximum value, which is C. So C, and the C's point measurements were 1.6, 2.5 occurs at C, and the Optimum solution is x1 equals to 1.6 and x2 equals to 2.5. So this is our solution.